So you guys, nobody could hear us for like last. Why did nobody any say? Somebody was on here. Nobody said anything. So can you hear us now?
Byron, probably. Check my Twitter here.
All right. Well, back on the air. Um, with sound this time.
You did that all
Apparently. So, what you guys missed, you're talking about the Queen.
Aaron's laughing because the sound is off.
So we'll just recap that. We're having a discussion about the importance or non-importance of the Queen
The monarchy in general.
and the monarchy in general in our political system. And somebody should really told us that you couldn't hear us.
There's only one person on.
I can't believe I'm listening to this for the third time.
Oh, here's Aaron laughing.
All right. Anyways, yeah, I think the Queen is useless. We shouldn't have a social order like that where people are just born to rule. And you think there's other things that we should be dealing with other than removing the Queen from our political system.
Yeah, exactly. So that's pretty much the sum of it. And what really brought that on was our new cabinet swearing oaths to the Queen. And that's what brought on that discussion. So our government swearing an oath to the Queen. So
To the Queen and her heirs
and her heirs.
as servants. As servants.
Yeah. So what do you guys think on that one? Whoever's watching.
And England has a governor general. I looked it up.
Yeah.
So the Queen is just basically as useful as she is to Canada.
Well,
She
there
can
you
wave
go.
her arm and collect tax money.
She does meet with other world leaders and stuff. Oh, for sure.
Pittsburgh score.
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
Yeah, so she meets with world leaders, but she's not allowed any. It's like a bit of a weird one.
Well, like as part of the Commonwealth, and as head of the Commonwealth, she'll meet with other leaders of other organizations and such, other like world organizations like that.
Interesting.
So, anyways, moving on to the new government, our Minister of the Environment and Climate Change, Catherine McKenna.
No, Elizabeth May. I told you so.
Hey, it could have happened. I'm not 100% surprised, but I thought it might happen.
I was hoping to see at least one member of the cabinet that wasn't a liberal. But anyways, I think Catherine McKenna is a good choice for Minister of the Environment and Climate Change. She's already in Paris, getting ready for the talks with the other world leaders as part of the climate change conference coming up later this month. We'll see what kind of targets. So we don't have any targets that we're bringing to the table. We're not bringing anything, or are we bringing like the same targets we were going to bring under the Conservative government?
I'm not sure. I would think that they would improve on those targets because they did call those targets out as being unrealistic, or not unrealistic. Sorry,
well, they don't have the time for that. She's already there.
Not unrealistic. Not like they said those targets weren't going to do enough for the environment to reach the goals of 2 degrees warmer. What is it? 2 degrees warmer than 19.
Just 2 degrees elevation in global weather. I forget what the actual number is, but like there's like I guess it would be an average rate like over the year across the world for the average temperature. And like we've talked about this before, but the scientific consensus is that if we go over that 2 degree, like we'll unleash like crazy amounts of like changes. Like some island countries are threatening to go underwater in our coastlines. Like a lot of American and Canadian cities, even that are close to water, Vancouver, Victoria, Toronto, um,
Yeah.
Montreal, will go under, and there's just
Halifax.
all kinds of like New York. There's just all kinds of other stuff that we don't know. Like we see even now, we see like crazy storms. Obviously, you can't always attribute it
Climate
to
change.
man-made climate change, but
Well,
I
like
think
look at
you'll
the
see
freaking
the
weather.
temperature be more erratic, and for us, okay, whatever it means, like we're having a warmer winter or we'll have a hotter winter, but for some people, it means like they don't have water or their whole country, whatever. Going. Yeah. Another thing that happened last week about that touches the environmental concerns is Obama completely rejected Keystone XL pipeline. Just a pipeline going from Alberta to Texas, or a proposed pipeline built by TransCanada want to build between Alberta to bring the bitumen and refine in Texas.
Yeah, I think so.
Texas. There's lots of opposition, especially on the American side to it. And Obama finally just said, no, it's not good enough. It's not good for our economy, and the tar sands are bad for the environment. So that's
Shut her down. So some people are upset about that. They
including
saw
our prime minister, apparently.
they see the project as an infrastructure project that will create a lot of short-term jobs. And another argument was that it's the safer way of transporting that bitumen to American markets. My argument would be that it's a short-sighted project, that we should really be investing in renewable energies as opposed to that, and maybe even to research into like how products that can replace contemporary plastics and stuff like that come from oil.
Yeah, or even just what, to me, like there'd be we should maybe even think of I don't know how to put it. We kind of have to change. To me, anyways, you'd have to replace plastic, but what plastic brought on was like the disposable culture. You buy one-time use stuff, whatever. Don't like water bottles, for example, right? Like made out of plastic, one-time use, and then if it doesn't get recycled, the plastic's all over. So yeah, if you find like, or even older materials, like obviously you can't make water bottles out of wood, but maybe glass or whatever that don't have
but like
the
I'm
impact
thinking
that
like
we know of. Yeah. But you need something that, because we realize now with plastic that it doesn't go away.
well, I guess you can reuse it and stuff though, like to rebuild new things once it's like recycle, recycle it.
Yeah,
But
it's
recycling it
not.
takes
Yeah.
energy and stuff.
And
But I was thinking like for like TVs and stuff and phones and whatever, you need to find an alternative. Even chips, like in your technology.
yeah, you need that. Some of it, a lot of it is steel, but yeah, you need something to replace it. So you should definitely be looking at that. That's another consequence which some people don't think will happen. Like people that argue with the saying that the pipelines are safer than rail, is that an expected consequence to the not having the pipeline is actually a reduction on exploiting the tar sands, right? So like if they have no way to get it out of Alberta, then
Well, except for the other question, which is there's going on in the U.S. So
yeah, next year.
next year, once there's a new administration, there's nothing to say that government is not going to okay this pipeline.
New proposal, whatever.
And I don't think, I think our government would definitely go ahead with it. unless the price of oil is dips even more than it already has, actually put into place some sort of plan
I would say
to
it's
introduce
not.
more renewable energies.
I obviously, you know how I feel about oil, whatever. I drive a car, but, you know, like I would say it's not viable to do unless the price actually goes up, because companies out there are losing money right now.
Well, I'm told there's some companies that have found a way,
Yeah,
for $30 a barrel,
they can do 30.
they could
Yeah,
do
okay.
it. So they found some sort of technique or something that allows them to do that. Um, but obviously, it's much less profitable than when you're looking at 50, 60 $20 a barrel for those companies. So
Yeah, I guess at some point you have to think like you say, we're gonna have to move something other than plastic. We're gonna have to move then like oil-based fuel, right? So at that point you got to start thinking about the future and like doing some research, which I think the liberal government pledged money into like a clean energy fund or something like that. I want to keep going with that. In the meantime, why would proposals for refineries in Canada have to ship it all the way?
yeah, I don't know. Like, there's a few refineries on the East Coast. I know there's a few, and I had looked it up. I think there's 5 or 6.
Well, on the East Coast, but then they still have to ship it all the way across the country.
No, but I think like in Canada in general, there's 5 or 6 refineries. Nowhere near enough to deal with the large amount of oil sands.
bitumen.
I don't know. I don't know why
Like you
it's not
think,
been looked at.
like let's build one in Alberta. They got all
Yeah, it
the
seems
tar
logical,
sands
right?
and
But
build one in Alberta, and then we can send out. It's like you know, the argument for people with the wood. Like we send unprocessed lumber and then we buy it back
yeah, it's exactly the same.
when nice 2x4s back or whatever.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you send them the final product and sell that stuff? Safer.
There's probably an economical argument. Um, price of labor maybe is cheaper,
taxes, I guess. Yeah.
and like
Well, I've
maybe the
seen what some of
cost
those
of
guys
operating
make. I'm seeing what some of those guys make. They don't really worry about the price.
cost of
Of labor.
operating business. In business, and it might be cheaper. There's less taxes. Stuff
I was
like
under the
that.
impression that Alberta was really, really,
Still Canada.
really nice for tax wise.
You're still gonna have to pay federal Canadian taxes, which are not always.
Yeah, fair enough. I guess yeah.
That's probably a part of it. I mean,
We'll see what comes out with our new targets, and if they think they can reduce emissions and continue the tar sands at the same time. I think that's a tough one.
yeah, we'll see. I mean, the protection in the tar sands has gone down significantly already, but see what goes on.
All right, what's I guess we can yeah. So yeah, there's a few new ministries or new names for ministries. That was kind of cool. Like you said, Minister of the Environment and Climate Change. So that's showing that, well, at least our government would like to portray itself as caring about the issue of climate change. Well, what a minister for the status of women and that didn't exist before.
No,
So I guess what would that ministry like do?
guess we'll find out. Um, I don't know. Maybe try to enforce gender equality laws, like equal pay and stuff because it's supposed to be a reality. Like when it's not a lot of. Maybe that's the kind of thing that they'll look at and gender equality in general because it's 2015. So we'll see. Um, we'll see what comes of it.
Well, we have a female monarch.
I guess.
That's probably like 16, 15 or something.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of like saying the whole black president thing in the States. Oh, racism doesn't exist.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm
We got a
kidding.
lot of work to do with that. Like we want gender equality. What about like gays or trans diversity?
Yeah, that's
We got a lot
another
of work to
thing.
do.
There's a minister under this government that's openly gay. Forget what he's the minister of, but
It's never happened before.
no, never happened before. And our new minister of national defense, who's Sikh, pretty awesome.
What if you don't know what Sikh is? It's like a
It's religious. Like I'm not like I don't know exactly what it is, but it's a religion of sorts. But he's certainly for some time. He was a special advisor in Afghanistan, getting a lot of recognition there and American officials. So I think he'll be a great Minister of National Defense. Great to see a lot of diversity.
Is that what they usually relate to? So they wear is it a turban or what?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what they have some sort of headdress. Anyway, so yeah, Minister of Defense. That got me thinking. I mean, like when was the last time? Like to me, that ministry is named weird to me. Like, um, I don't know. Like, when was the last time we were involved in something as actually defending our country?
There's definitely
Like,
1812.
So that was
But
before Canada was a country.
this is my argument for this. It's preventative wars. So you're defending your country.
Explain.
So like just an example. I'm not saying I believe in these wars, and I'm not saying I believe that this is the true reason we're there or we were there. But Afghanistan, we're there because our neighbors to the south got attacked, and we believe there was a terrorist threat to our country. So we were defending our country by going to war there.
Yeah, see, that seems like offense to me. It seems like offense. You're going on the offensive.
No, like it to me, it would be offense if you're like, I'm just going into this country to bomb them just because I feel like it. When you're going to the country to make sure that you don't get attacked, it's defense.
It seems like a weird. Well, I don't know. To me, they should just be like more forthright and just call it a ministry for war.
It used to be Ministry of Militia.
I can't really get behind that. That's not defense to me. It's not defense to me.
Okay.
That's
Well, do you,
interventionism.
can I ask this question? Do you believe in preventative wars?
Explain this.
I just explain what preventative war.
No, because I think stuff like that, like our invasion of Afghanistan, toppling their government, killing their people, just adds to their dislike for us and empowers the terrorist elements there.
So
But to me, it didn't prevent anything.
how do you react to 9/11 then? Like let's say 9/11 is exactly how the media portrayed it, and that's what happened. It's like a terrorist group from Afghanistan bombed the United States. How do you react?
If it's a terrorist group from Afghanistan that bombed the United States, to me, I first of all, like, it's a terrorist group, so that was being harbored by the people in power of Afghanistan. That this group was also in Pakistan and in other areas, which they were trying to tell us in Iraq. So how do you respond to it? I don't know. Like, to me, why let the U.S. deal with it? It's their military.
If you're the U.S., how do you respond to it though?
Up on the U.S., I'll respond the way I always do: guns and drones and ships and tanks.
Like, you don't think,
You don't
like,
why,
being a
like,
close ally to the United States, you don't think that Canada needs to do anything in that situation?
No, because we had no all right. So what did that give us? What did that give us? The invasion of Afghanistan.
Okay, but you didn't like, not knowing what happened in Afghanistan. Like, bam. Let's say the CN Tower got hit by an airplane that was hijacked by a terrorist from Afghanistan. Then what do? You don't go into the country where you believe these terrorists are. You just let your country get getting bombed.
You know what? Maybe go the route of peace. You know, like, the whole point of this terrorist organization is to scare people, right? And it worked. The whole point was to instigate America and get them quagmired into Afghanistan. If that's the way, if everything was the way they say it was, so why go ahead?
Well, I don't think you could just sit there. I don't like that's no. To me, like, that's
So
like
look
the
at the
worst thing to
results.
do.
Every time we go do something like that, look at the results.
Yeah, I'm not
So
so.
if it happened tomorrow, you think, okay, well, the answer is another invasion of the Middle East.
No, I didn't say that was the answer either. But you got to do something, like develop some sort of intelligence program that, like, maybe be sneaky about it, but you go in with spies or something. But you got to do.
Maybe. What did I message you? Yeah, maybe. I don't, like, to me, we rushed in there. We went in on emotion, and it didn't work for us. Right? Like, I guess maybe in 2001 I would have said, yeah, let's do it. But, like, if shit like this happens again, we can't just be like, like, we see ISIS beheading Americans. So, okay, then let's just bomb them some more. Like, it doesn't work. We got to think of a new strategy. I don't know what it is, but it's probably not invasion.
Yeah, well, like, I don't know. It's one. It's
Even
hard
if that's
because
even if that's what we're doing, I still don't think you should call it a Ministry of Defense. You should call it something that it actually means.
okay. Well, what about the fact that, like, there's, like, ships defending our coasts constantly, stuff like that. There's military officers in the Canadian North that are defending
Okay, so why?
the country.
Okay, well, what if we could have defense and war tactics? Like, I just don't think, like, saying it in the name of defense, like defending our national interests, like with the wells in Iraq, like.
National, just who else we're getting out of there, man.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I got views, I guess. Like, we were on the list, wherever, some Taliban or Al Qaeda list at that time. But at the same time, we're on ISIS's lists now. Why? Because of our actions, because of our previous actions. Two, really, like, they can't even, like they took over a bit of the firepower to come and bomb us. Like, maybe they could hijack a plane, maybe.
Well, they could
Like,
recruit people that are here as well.
Yeah, and our actions are help them do that though. I don't know.
I get where you're coming from. But I think Afghanistan is a bit different. 9/11 is a bit different with ISIS and stuff. With ISIS, I get that we instigated them and we were already over there and we're messing with stuff. But with Afghanistan,
America instigated them. There was American presence in Afghanistan. They had proxy wars during the Cold War with the Russians. There is definitely some history with the Americans and the Taliban.
yeah, but I don't. But they were out. They were out of there well before 2001. I think it was just an attack on American culture in general.
Well, that's how they spun it, anyways.
Yeah, exactly. Who knows what the true motivation was? I mean, may never know.
Okay, what else do we got here, anyways? Just
The guy we watched earlier there, the $70,000 man.
the hippie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to get your opinion on that. So I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this. There's a company in Seattle called Gravity Payments, and one day their CEO, who made over $1 million a year, decided that
He decided this on a hike, by the way.
decided on a hike that he would set the minimum wage for his company to $70,000 a year. So basically took a massive pay cut to pay his employees. People came up for it. People came out against it, saying he was, I don't even know what they call him. I don't remember. But anyways, we saw him today on I want to get your opinion. What do you think of that?
I
What do
think
you think of that move?
it's good. I mean, $70,000 is, according to a lot of studies, anyways, the amount of money that you need to stop thinking about money. As a person, $70,000 or so a year, then money does not impact your day-to-day life.
So kind of like your basic needs sort of thing.
Exactly. So some people are calling this guy a socialist. He says he doesn't believe. But I agree with what he's doing. It's great. I mean,
well, he's obviously a capitalist as well. Otherwise, he wouldn't have
yeah. I mean,
raised up a company from the ground to.
Yeah, he's running a company that deals with credit card payments. So he's not a pure socialist in any sense of the word, for sure. But he's, I don't know, it's interesting.
It's kind of a way of taking things into his own hands instead of always saying the government should do something. The government should do something. He's leading by example.
Yeah, exactly.
Showing that it can be done. Like he doesn't seem to be too hurting without his $1 million salary. No, the company is not hurting by any means.
Yeah, I mean the company is probably employee morale is probably great. The only thing he said is like people that were already making close to $70,000 and that worked their way up to that. Some of them got a little bit upset. But like he said, that'll happen. You can't necessarily please everyone. He said he's trying to do his best to do that. Any thoughts of watching?
Size and salary, just throwing it out there, 70 grand. That's awesome. Let's do it. I think it's a novel idea. I mean, you don't see that too often. That's the first and only time I've ever heard of something like that. Heard of a CEO take. Steve Jobs, he took like a $1 salary, but he didn't implement a minimum wage or anything like that. But he realized that he didn't need the millions.
Oh yeah, it's a minimum $70,000 salary. It's not. everybody
not like that.
necessarily gets paid 70,000. Somebody could get paid more.
So to me, it makes me think of. I was watching a show last night too. I forget what it was. And they were talking about the minimum wage and how. Well, I guess he was talking about it too a little bit today. How like corporate profits are record high, and the minimum wage compared to like
Inflation.
inflation and the poverty line is crazy low, right? Like,
Yeah.
and it's lower in the states, but still, like, if you work full time minimum wage in Canada, you're gonna be rubbing pennies together to make ends meet. So I don't know. Those show I was talking last night. They're kind of they're saying that they thought the minimum wage either was intended or should be used as more than like a bare minimum, and it should be like promoting prosperity
Yeah.
and right, rather than like 25-cent increases every year or so there or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
Thinking.
I think probably too low. Um, especially when you consider that there's people in their 30s with families and stuff that are living off by, and like it's hard to make ends meet when you're trying to raise a family.
Call them the
making
working
minimum
poor.
wage. I mean, I make more than minimum wage, and I don't have family. But if I had a family, I'm pretty sure it would be pretty hard to manage, even on my wage. So I couldn't even imagine.
Yeah. Yeah. The working poor, they call it. Well, you think about it, it's changed so much, right? There's like now like maybe not our parents' generation, but the generation before that, right? Could raise a family on a single salary, one income, or and people are still having a hard time making ends meet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we'll take some questions. We got 10 minutes left here before 9 o'clock. We're gonna stick to the 1 hour this week, even though the first 20 minutes apparently didn't have sound.
So I guess we're gonna have to fix that.
Oh yeah, we'll cut the first 20 minutes on the one we post. But, any questions or topics that whoever's listening would like to us to?
How do you
touch
get to
on?
that? Maybe they just can't see the chat.
I believe it's just there on YouTube
On the right hand side.
on the right hand side.
If you're following on a computer. Byron said he was on PlayStation last time.
Yeah, well, you can tweet to us as well at Fortier Bros. So YouTube, Super Fortier Bros.
Listen,
Socialism guy.
that's just my note today. We were watching. I was like, let's talk about this socialist guy or non-labeled guy.
Oops, that's last week. An hour and a half.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh no, it's not. Oh yeah, it's on the right.
Right, you got anything else?
I'm good. I
I'm
mean,
pretty tired today. Holy crap!
holy crap! I just had some coffee and I'm still tired. But okay, so if there's no questions, since we went long last week, I guess we'll cut it short this week.
God save the Queen.
Lol. Cheers, guys. Take care. Oops, that's the wrong button.